Have you ever found yourself struggling to get up from a chair or feeling a little more tired after simple daily tasks? Maybe you've noticed your muscles aren't as strong as they used to be, or you worry about losing your balance and taking a fall. These quiet changes often sneak up on us, making everyday life feel a bit harder, and sometimes it feels like your body is working against you. But what if I told you this doesn't have to be just getting old? You might think feeling weaker or stiff is simply part of aging, but that's not always true. Often, it's not just about getting older, it's about how we move or don't move every day. This little-known truth is why so many seniors feel stuck in pain or fear losing their independence. It's a problem we rarely talk about, yet it affects millions. In today's video, I'll share 6 simple movements you can do right at home that help keep your body strong, flexible, and pain-free. No gym required. By the end, you'll discover an easy way to feel more confident and regain control over your health. Let's walk this journey together. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. Movement 1. Seated marching, marching in place on a chair. Some mornings, the world just feels a little heavier. You settle into your favorite chair, perhaps by a sunny window, sipping a warm cup of coffee. The radio hums in the background, maybe an old jazz tune or news from across the country. For a moment, it feels like any other day, peaceful, even comforting. But as you stand up to answer the door or grab the newspaper, you notice it takes just a bit more effort than before. Your legs feel stiff, slower to respond, and there's a quiet ache that lingers. Maybe you brush it off as just another part of growing older. That's just how it goes, you tell yourself. After all, everyone your age seems to have their little aches and pains, right? It's easy to accept this gradual slowing down as inevitable, almost like a rite of passage. Most people do. But what if it doesn't have to be that way? What if, instead of surrendering to stiffness and weakness, there was something gentle and simple you could do? Right here, right now, without ever leaving your living room, that could help your legs feel stronger, your body more awake, and your mind a little brighter every single day. Here's a surprising truth. Muscle weakness and stiffness aren't always just old age. Research shows that much of the muscle loss and lack of flexibility we experience after 60 isn't only because we're getting older, it's because we move less. When we stop using our muscles, our bodies respond by gradually letting those muscles shrink. That stiffness in your legs after sitting for a while, the hesitancy to stand up quickly, that isn't just nature taking its course. It's your muscles quietly reminding you that they need a little more attention. The good news? Our bodies are far more adaptable than we realize, even well into our 70s, 80s, and beyond. The science behind this is both fascinating and encouraging. Muscles work on a use it or lose it principle. After age 65, we can lose up to 1% of our muscle mass every year if we're inactive. That doesn't sound like much, but over a decade, it adds up, and it's why standing up from a chair or taking a walk around the block feels harder than it used to. The less we move, the weaker we become, and the cycle continues. But here's the magic. Even gentle, regular movement can reverse this decline. You don't need heavy weights, fancy gym memberships, or marathon training plans. Simple, consistent activity is all it takes to signal your muscles to stay strong and healthy. One of the easiest and most effective ways to wake up your legs and get your heart pumping is something called seated marching. If you're picturing military drills or a complicated exercise routine, don't worry. Seated marching is exactly what it sounds like, marching in place, right from the comfort of your favorite chair. It's low impact, gentle on the joints, and safe for nearly everyone, even if you haven't exercised in years. Plus, it's something you can do while watching TV, chatting on the phone, or listening to your favorite music. Let's walk through it together. First, find a sturdy chair with a straight back. Sit tall, feet flat on the floor, hands resting gently at your sides or on your lap. Take a deep breath in, filling your lungs with fresh air. As you exhale, gently lift your right knee toward the ceiling, as high as you comfortably can, as if you're marching in place. Lower your right foot back to the ground, and then lift your left knee. Keep alternating legs in a slow, steady rhythm, as if you're walking to a beat. You don't need to rush. This is about gentle movement, not speed. Aim for 10 to 20 lifts per leg to start, or simply march for one full song on the radio. Listen to your body. If you feel any discomfort, pause and rest. Over time, you can increase the number of marches or the duration as you feel stronger. You might be surprised how quickly this small act adds up. Seated marching improves circulation in your legs, helps maintain strength in your thighs and hips, and can even boost your balance over time. It wakes up sleepy muscles, making it easier to stand, walk, and stay steady. Studies show that seniors who regularly perform this kind of movement have fewer falls, stronger muscles, and a greater sense of confidence in their daily lives. But perhaps the most important benefit isn't physical, it's emotional. Each time you lift your knee, you're telling yourself, I still have power. I still have a choice. It's a quiet act of self-care, a daily reminder that your story isn't over and your body can still surprise you. I'd like to share a story that might sound familiar. Meet Mary, a 74-year-old grandmother living in Ohio. For years, Mary started each morning sitting by her kitchen window, watching the sun rise while her coffee brewed. As the years passed, she noticed her legs felt heavier, and her steps less steady. She worried she'd lose her independence, afraid of falling and becoming a burden to her family. One day, her daughter suggested trying seated marching. Skeptical at first, Mary decided to give it a try, just a few steps each morning. After a week, she found it a bit easier to stand up from her chair. After a month, she could walk to her mailbox without stopping to rest. 6 months later, Mary joined her friends for a dance class at the community center, something she hadn't done in years. She told me, it wasn't about getting fit for anyone else. It was about proving to myself that I could keep going, one small step at a time. Seated marching became Mary's quiet victory, a gentle, everyday way to reclaim her strength and confidence. If she can do it, so can you. You don't have to accept aches and weakness as your new normal. Every day is a chance to remind your body and your spirit that you are still capable of change. All it takes is a little movement, a bit of patience, and the belief that you deserve to feel strong and steady, no matter your age. So next time you sit down with your coffee or pause for a favorite TV show, try a few marches. You might be surprised by how much brighter your day feels. Remember, your journey to better health isn't about perfection. It's about progress. Small steps truly do make a difference. Let's keep moving, together. Movement 2. Wall push UPS. There's something comforting about a quiet morning at home. Maybe you're standing in the kitchen, waiting for the coffee to finish brewing, or tidying up after breakfast. You pause for a moment, resting your hands on the counter, feeling the solid surface under your palms. For many older adults, these pauses have become more frequent. Moments to catch your breath or ease the strain on your arms and shoulders. Maybe you've noticed that opening jars, lifting a laundry basket, or even giving a warm hug to your grandchild feels just a little harder these days. You shrug it off, telling yourself, well, I'm not as young as I used to be. You're not alone. Most people your age feel their arms losing some of their strength, almost like the world's getting a little heavier, one day at a time. But what if it didn't have to be that way? What if losing arm strength isn't simply the price you pay for each birthday? What if there's a simple way, right in your own home, no special equipment needed, to build back some of that strength, one gentle movement at a time? If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. The truth is that our muscles, especially those in our upper body, respond powerfully to even small amounts of activity. You might have heard that, as we age, we lose muscle mass. That's true, but what's often left unsaid is how much control we still have over that process. According to scientific research, people can lose up to 3 to 5% of their muscle mass per decade after 30, and the decline can speed up after 60. But this isn't just about aging. It's about how much we move and how we challenge our muscles. The more we use them, the more they stay with us. And it turns out, you don't need heavy dumbbells or crowded gyms to make a real difference. Something as simple as a wall can help you regain strength, stability, and even confidence. Enter the wall push-up, a movement so basic, yet so effective, it surprises many people who try it for the first time. Wall push-ups are exactly what they sound like, a gentle version of the classic push-up, using the wall as your base instead of the floor. This movement is perfect for seniors because it's low impact, easy on the wrists and shoulders, and adaptable for any fitness level. Plus, it fits seamlessly into your daily routine. You can do a few reps while waiting for your tea to steep or during a TV commercial break. Let's take a closer look at what's happening when you do a wall push-up. When you press your body away from the wall, you're engaging your chest, shoulders, triceps, and even your core. These are the muscles you use every time you reach up for a glass in the cabinet, push open a heavy door, or support yourself as you get up from a chair. Strengthening them isn't just about looking fit. It's about making everyday tasks easier and safer. It's about independence. So, how do you get started? The process couldn't be simpler. Find a clear wall space in your home. Stand facing the wall, about an arm's length away. Place your palms flat on the wall at shoulder height, just wider than your shoulders. Keep your feet about hip-width apart for balance. Now, slowly bend your elbows and lean your chest towards the wall, keeping your body straight from head to heel. Go as far as you comfortably can, then gently push yourself back to your starting position. That's one wall push-up. Try starting with 8 to 10 repetitions, and as you grow stronger, increase the number or add another set. As you move, breathe in as you lean towards the wall, and breathe out as you push away. Don't worry about speed. Focus on steady, controlled movements. If your wrists feel sensitive, you can place a folded towel under your palms for extra cushioning. If your shoulders are stiff, begin with a smaller range of motion and build up as you gain confidence. Let me share a story with you. There's a man named Richard, who lives in a small town in Pennsylvania. Richard spent his career as a mail carrier, walking miles every day and carrying heavy bags. But after retiring, his activity level dropped, and he noticed his arms were getting weaker. Even simple things, like opening a stubborn jar of pickles or carrying his groceries inside, left him feeling frustrated. He worried that he was becoming less capable, and a little bit invisible. On the advice of his doctor, Richard started doing wall push-ups each morning. Just a handful at first, right after he brushed his teeth. At first, it felt almost too simple. But week by week, Richard noticed the difference. His arms grew steadier, his grip became firmer, and his shoulders stopped aching as much. 6 months later, Richard was back to tackling household chores without help, and, as he told his daughter, "I can give a pretty good bear hug again, too." It's never about perfection or pushing yourself to exhaustion. Wall push-ups are a gentle invitation, a reminder that strength is still within reach, no matter your age or your starting point. Every rep is an act of hope, a message to your body and your mind that you are still growing, still capable, still here. So the next time you find yourself by the kitchen wall or waiting for the microwave to ding, try a few wall push-ups. It might not seem like much at first, but over time, these simple movements will build a foundation of strength and confidence that touches every part of your life. Remember, small efforts add up, and you are worth every single one. You don't have to accept a future of weakness or dependence. You have the power, right now, to support your independence with small, consistent action. Take a deep breath, find your wall, and press forward. For your health, your happiness, and all the everyday moments that matter most. Let's keep moving together. Movement 3. Ankle circles and toe raises. Some challenges in life slip in quietly. They don't announce themselves with a big, dramatic moment, but settle in so gradually that we hardly notice. Maybe you've been sitting in your favorite armchair, watching the morning news, or enjoying a good book, and when you finally stand up, you feel a dull heaviness in your feet or a little wobble in your step. You might think it's just old bones, or part of the deal with getting older. Maybe your ankles swell after a long day, or you feel a slight tingling in your toes after sitting for too long. It's easy to brush off these little signals, thinking, well, I'm just not as spry as I used to be. But what if these tiny troubles were warning signs from your body? What if those tired ankles and tingling toes weren't simply signs of aging, but reminders that your circulation needs a helping hand? And what if there was something incredibly simple you could do, right from your chair, to keep your legs feeling light, steady, and strong? Most people believe that leg weakness and balance problems come with the territory of aging, like gray hair or reading glasses. But here's the twist. A lot of those issues are not only preventable but even reversible, and they start in places we don't always think to look. It's not just your knees and hips that carry you. Your ankles and toes are the foundation of every step you take. If they grow stiff or weak, everything above them can feel the strain. In fact, according to research from the National Institute on Aging, problems with ankle strength and flexibility are among the top hidden causes of falls in older adults. It's a detail so many people overlook, yet it can change everything about your day-to-day life. Let's break down what's happening in simple terms. When you're sitting for long stretches, whether it's catching up on your favorite TV show or working on a crossword puzzle, blood can pool in your lower legs and feet. That makes your ankles swell, your feet tingle, and your muscles grow weaker over time. As a result, standing up quickly or walking even short distances can leave you feeling unsteady. But when you keep those small muscles moving, you're doing more than just exercising. You're pumping blood back toward your heart, keeping your veins and arteries healthy, and teaching your brain how to stay balanced and steady on your feet. The beauty is that the solution is simple and doesn't require fancy equipment, special shoes, or a trip outside. Ankle circles and toe raises are two of the easiest and most effective ways to wake up those crucial muscles and get your blood moving. They don't take much time, and you can do them while sitting in your living room, waiting for the kettle to boil, or even during a commercial break. Here's how you start. Sit up straight in a sturdy chair, with both feet flat on the floor. First, let's do ankle circles. Lift one foot slightly off the ground and gently rotate your ankle in a big, slow circle. 5 times in one direction, then 5 times the other way. Switch feet and repeat. This gentle movement helps lubricate the joints, strengthens the muscles around your ankle, and boosts blood flow. Next, move to toe raises. With both feet flat, slowly lift your toes towards the ceiling, keeping your heels on the ground. Hold for a second, then lower your toes back down. Do this 10 times, focusing on squeezing the muscles in the front of your shins and feet. If you feel comfortable, you can try heel raises, too. Lift your heels up off the floor while keeping your toes grounded. Hold for a beat, then slowly lower them down. These movements may seem almost too simple, but they make a real difference, especially when practiced every day. You might be wondering if something so small can really make a difference. Let me tell you about Ruth, a retired librarian from Indiana. After she turned 80, Ruth found herself avoiding walks around the block, not because she was out of breath, but because her ankles would swell and ache, and her feet felt numb at night. She was afraid of tripping on uneven sidewalks or even stumbling in her kitchen. Her daughter, worried about her balance, encouraged her to try a few exercises she could do while sitting and reading her morning paper. Skeptical but willing, Ruth began with ankle circles and toe raises every morning and evening. The first week, she noticed her feet felt less puffy by bedtime. After a month, she realized she was standing up with more confidence and even walking a little farther each day. She told her friends at book club, "I may not be running marathons, but I'm not afraid of my own feet anymore." It gave Ruth a renewed sense of independence, and she started looking forward to her daily walks again. These small movements are more than just exercises. They are acts of self-respect, a way of telling your body, "I want you to keep going." Every circle, every lift, is a little promise to yourself, to stay active, to stay steady, to hold on to the freedom of moving safely through the world. So the next time you're sitting down for a chat or reading a chapter in your favorite novel, try a few ankle circles and toe raises. If you make it a habit, just a few minutes, twice a day, you'll likely notice your steps feel lighter, your balance steadier, and your legs more alive. It's a gentle way to honor the body that's carried you so far and to keep walking confidently into every tomorrow. Remember, you don't need to chase youth or run races. You just need to care for yourself, one simple movement at a time. Every effort counts, no matter how small. You have the strength within you to stay steady on your path. So let's keep moving, together, one circle and one lift at a time. Movement 4. Chair squats. Some parts of life only become truly precious when you start to feel them slipping away. Take, for instance, the simple act of rising from your favorite chair. Maybe you've noticed that it takes a little more effort now than it once did. The old armchair that used to feel like a throne now feels more like a trap, and you find yourself planning your movements, gripping the arms, or using momentum to help you stand. If you've ever hesitated before standing, worried you might wobble, or felt that familiar pressure in your knees or hips, you're not alone. Many older adults quietly accept this as a sign of aging, chalking it up to just how things go. After all, you've spent a lifetime moving, working, and taking care of others. It seems only natural that your legs might tire out. But here's the question. Is it just old age, or could something else be at play? Could there be a gentle, practical way to restore some of that lost strength and independence, right in your living room? What if I told you that one of the most important movements for staying independent, being able to get up from a chair, has less to do with age and more to do with muscle strength and balance? It's true. Science tells us that the ability to rise from a seated position is a key marker of healthy aging. It requires your legs, hips, and core to work together. When those muscles weaken, a common side effect of being less active, even simple daily tasks can feel like monumental challenges. You see, the body is like a machine designed for movement. If it sits too long, its moving parts, especially the big, powerful muscles in the legs and hips, begin to forget how to do their job. The technical term for this is sarcopenia, which means the gradual loss of muscle mass that happens with age, especially if we're not staying active. Research shows that starting around age 60, muscle strength can decline by 1 to 2% each year, and the first place it often shows up is in the legs. That's why movements like standing up, sitting down, and climbing stairs can start to feel harder. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. But here's the hopeful news. Muscle loss isn't inevitable, and the solution doesn't require a gym or fancy equipment. You can fight back with something you already do every single day: sitting down and standing up. This movement, known as the chair squat, is one of the best ways to build and maintain the strength and confidence needed for independent living. So, how do you do a chair squat? It's simple, gentle, and easy to fit into your daily routine. Start by choosing a sturdy chair, ideally without wheels, and make sure it's on a flat surface. Stand in front of the chair, feet about hip-width apart. Reach your arms out in front of you for balance. Now, slowly bend your knees and lower your body as if you're going to sit down. Hover just above the seat for a second, using your legs, not your arms, for support, and then push through your heels to stand back up. Repeat this movement, going at your own pace. Start with 5 or 6 repetitions, and build up as you get stronger. Remember to breathe, moving slowly and steadily. There's no rush. This simple action is more powerful than you might think. Chair squats strengthen the thighs, hips, and glutes, improve your balance, and help protect your joints. They also train your body to coordinate movement, making falls less likely and daily life a little bit easier. Just a few chair squats each day can help keep you mobile, steady, and confident. Whether you're getting up to answer the door, cook a meal, or simply enjoy a walk in the park. Let me share a story. There's a man named John who lives just outside Chicago. He spent most of his life working with his hands, raising a family, fixing up old cars, and volunteering at his church. But after retirement, John noticed that getting up from his chair felt like a bigger task than it used to. He'd lean on the armrests or rock forward for momentum. At first, he shrugged it off. But then, one morning, he almost lost his balance getting up, and the thought of falling shook him more than he expected. His granddaughter, a physical therapist, suggested he try chair squats. John laughed. He didn't see himself as an exercise guy. Still, he promised to try, doing just a handful each day after breakfast. At first, it was hard. His legs ached, and he had to move slowly. But within weeks, he noticed he was standing up more easily, and his knees hurt less. After 2 months, he didn't need to push off the chair with his hands. One day, when his friends came by for cards, he stood up with such ease they barely noticed. That's the magic. When strength returns, it blends back into daily life, almost quietly. Stories like John's are happening everywhere. Chair squats aren't about pushing your limits or showing off. They're about taking back a little piece of your freedom, one small step at a time. Every squat is a promise to yourself, I'm not done yet. My life is still my own. So, the next time you're sitting down, pause for a moment before you rise. Plant your feet, engage your legs, and lift yourself, not just out of the chair, but toward the independence and dignity you deserve. Start small, stay gentle, and celebrate every improvement. Remember, growing older doesn't have to mean growing weaker. Your body is resilient, and with a little care and daily practice, you can keep living life on your terms. Chair squats are more than an exercise. They're a path to confidence, safety, and self-respect. Take it slow, be patient with yourself, and know that every effort matters. We're on this journey together, and each movement brings you closer to a stronger, steadier tomorrow. Movement 5. Arm circles and shoulder rolls. There's something quietly precious about the first moments of the morning. The light creeps softly through the window, the birds are just starting to stir, and the house feels calm and safe. For many older adults, these moments are a time of gentle reflection, a chance to be grateful for another day, even if the body feels a bit stiffer than it used to. Maybe you notice your shoulders are tight, or your neck feels stiff from sleeping in the wrong position. Reaching overhead to open a cabinet or grabbing a mug from a shelf isn't as smooth as it once was. Maybe you shrug it off, thinking, it's just a part of getting older. You roll your shoulders a little, trying to shake off the tightness, but the feeling lingers, and deep down, you wish you could move with the same ease you had years ago. But what if that stiffness and tension in your shoulders and neck wasn't simply the price of another birthday? What if there was a gentle way, right in your living room, to reclaim that freedom of movement? A way that didn't require special equipment, a trip to the gym, or pushing yourself until you ache. You see, we're often told that pain and stiffness in our shoulders, neck, and upper back are just part of the aging process. Wear and tear, the doctor might say, or normal for your age. But that's not the whole story. Science shows that much of this tightness comes not from aging itself, but from inactivity. When we spend long periods sitting, reading, watching TV, knitting, or even just resting, the muscles around our shoulders and upper back get tight and weak. Blood flow slows, the muscles shorten, and joints lose their easy glide. Over time, this leads to discomfort, decreased range of motion, and a sense of limitation that can spill into every part of daily life. But there's good news. You don't have to accept this as your fate. Just as a little movement in your legs can keep you steady on your feet, gentle movement in your upper body can keep your shoulders, neck, and back flexible and pain-free. Simple exercises like arm circles and shoulder rolls can be truly transformative. They may look easy, almost too easy, but their effects reach deep, bringing warmth, circulation, and flexibility back to tired muscles. Let's talk about how you can do these movements safely and comfortably. You can do arm circles and shoulder rolls standing or seated, whatever feels best for you. Start by sitting or standing up tall, with your feet flat on the ground. 4 arm circles. Extend your arms out to your sides, shoulder height if you can, with palms facing down. Make small, gentle circles with your arms, forward for about 10 circles, then reverse and go backward for another 10. Keep the movements slow and controlled, focusing on making each circle smooth and easy. You might feel your shoulders warming up and the tension starting to melt away. Now try shoulder rolls. Drop your arms to your sides, relax your hands, and slowly lift your shoulders toward your ears. Roll them back in a big, gentle circle, squeezing your shoulder blades together, then drop them down. Repeat this motion 5 to 10 times, moving with your breath. Inhale as your shoulders rise, exhale as they fall. As you do this, imagine the stress and tightness sliding right off your back. These simple movements lubricate the joints, stretch the muscles, and remind your body what it feels like to move freely. You might wonder if such gentle exercises can make a difference. Let me tell you about Linda, a retired schoolteacher from Kansas. Linda had always been active, but after shoulder surgery in her late 60s, she found her upper body growing stiffer by the month. Reaching overhead was a chore, and she worried about losing her independence. Her physical therapist suggested arm circles and shoulder rolls. At first, Linda was skeptical. They seemed so simple. But she started adding them to her morning routine, right after her first cup of coffee. Within weeks, she noticed she could lift her arms higher and with less pain. The tension in her neck eased, and she found herself moving more confidently throughout her day. I realized, Linda shared, that the little things I did for myself made all the difference. I felt like I got a little piece of myself back every morning. Arm circles and shoulder rolls do more than just ease pain and stiffness. They help improve circulation, bringing fresh oxygen to the muscles and tissues of your upper body. They support better posture, making it easier to stand tall and breathe deeply. They even have emotional benefits. Many people find that these gentle, rhythmic movements help ease anxiety and bring a sense of calm and control. So the next time you find yourself pausing at the kitchen counter or standing in front of the mirror, try a few arm circles or shoulder rolls. They only take a minute or two, but their effects can last all day. With each circle, you're nourishing your body, honoring its needs, and reclaiming your freedom of movement. Remember, getting older doesn't mean you have to accept stiffness or settle for less. Every gentle stretch, every mindful roll of the shoulders, is an act of self-care, a quiet declaration that you are still in charge of your body and your life. You deserve to move with comfort and grace, to reach for what you want, and to enjoy every moment to the fullest. Start small, be patient with yourself, and celebrate every improvement, no matter how tiny it may seem. Your body will thank you, and you'll discover that freedom of movement isn't just for the young. It's for anyone willing to keep moving, one circle and one roll at a time. Let's keep moving together. Movement 6. Gentle standing side stretches. There are moments in life that quietly remind us just how precious it is to move freely. Maybe it's when you reach for a bowl on the top kitchen shelf, or when you tie your shoes before heading out for a morning walk. Sometimes, it's as simple as waking up and feeling a stiffness along your side, a gentle ache that wasn't there years ago. If you're like so many older adults, you've probably noticed your body getting a bit less flexible with each passing season. Perhaps you find it harder to twist around in the driver's seat, or you catch yourself wincing when you reach sideways for something that used to be within easy grasp. Most of us accept this creeping stiffness as just another part of aging. It happens so gradually that we hardly notice until one day, it feels like our bodies are made of wood instead of muscle and bone. I guess I'm just getting old, we sigh, as we rub our aching sides. But what if this wasn't inevitable? What if that tightness wasn't simply the price of another birthday, but a quiet signal from your body? One that can be answered with a simple, gentle movement. It's a common assumption that flexibility fades away as the years go by and there's nothing we can do about it. But here's a twist. Losing flexibility isn't only about age, it's often about use. The less we move our bodies through their full range, the more our muscles and connective tissues tighten up. Science shows that gentle stretching, especially side stretches, can restore much of that lost range, ease aches, and even help you breathe more deeply and move more confidently. The sides of your body, called the lateral chain, play a crucial role in everyday movement. They support your spine and help you twist, reach, and balance. When these muscles grow tight or weak, simple acts like dressing, reaching, or even walking can become a challenge. Here's the good news. You don't need fancy equipment or an exercise class to reclaim your flexibility. Gentle standing side stretches, done daily, can make a world of difference, and you can do them right in your living room. This simple stretch opens up the spaces between your ribs, loosens your waist and lower back, and brings a delicious sense of release that lingers long after you finish. Let's walk through it together. Stand with your feet hip-width apart, toes pointing forward, arms resting at your sides. Take a deep, comfortable breath. As you exhale, gently raise your right arm overhead, reaching toward the ceiling. Slowly lean your body to the left, keeping both feet firmly planted. You should feel a gentle stretch all along the right side of your body, from your fingertips down through your ribs, waist, and hip. Hold this stretch for a few breaths, enjoying the feeling of space and openness. Return to center, lower your arm, and repeat on the other side. Don't rush. The goal isn't to bend as far as possible, but to find a gentle, satisfying stretch. If you want, you can place your free hand on your hip for balance, or use a chair for extra support. Remember to breathe deeply and keep your movements smooth and easy. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. You might wonder if such a simple stretch can make a difference. Let me share the story of Harold, a retired firefighter from upstate New York. After decades of physically demanding work, Harold found himself growing more and more stiff as he got older. Twisting around to check his blind spot while driving became nearly impossible. He'd grumble about his aching back, assuming it was just the cost of a long, active life. One day, during a wellness seminar at his local community center, he learned about the benefits of gentle side stretches. Skeptical but willing, Harold added a few to his morning routine. Within a few weeks, Harold noticed changes he hadn't thought possible. He could reach for things on high shelves without wincing. Turning to look out the window while backing his car felt natural again. But more than that, Harold felt lighter, as if a weight had been lifted from his body and his mind. "I didn't expect much from such a simple stretch," he said, "but I got a little piece of myself back." Gentle standing side stretches do more than help you reach and twist. They also support better breathing and posture. When you stretch the sides of your body, you open up the space between your ribs, giving your lungs more room to expand. That means easier, deeper breaths and more energy for everything you do. Side stretches also help relieve tension in your lower back and can even help prevent falls by improving your balance. In the rush of daily life, it's easy to neglect these small acts of self-care. But just a few minutes each day, spent moving and stretching, can make your world feel bigger, brighter, and more welcoming. You're not just loosening muscles, you're nurturing your spirit and sending yourself the message that you're worth the effort. So tomorrow morning, or the next time you catch yourself feeling stiff, stand tall and give your body the gentle gift of a side stretch. Start slow, listen to your limits, and let the movement become a quiet ritual of care and gratitude. If you practice every day, you might just find you can reach a little farther, twist a little more easily, and greet each new day with a renewed sense of freedom. Remember, age is just a number. Flexibility and ease are always within your reach, no matter how many birthdays you've celebrated. Every stretch, no matter how small, is a step toward a more comfortable, confident you. Let's keep moving together, gently, bravely, and with hope in our hearts. As we come to the end of this journey together, take a moment to celebrate what you've accomplished simply by being here, open, and willing to learn. The world often tells us that growing older means settling for less movement, less strength, less freedom. But today, you've proven that's not true. Each of these 6 gentle at-home movements is more than an exercise. It's a promise to yourself that your well-being matters every single day. Maybe some of these exercises felt new or even a little awkward at first. That's perfectly okay. Change takes courage, and you've already shown the most important step, starting. Whether you try seated marching while the morning news plays, pause for a few ankle circles, or challenge yourself to a set of chair squats, remember that every small effort is a building block toward a more confident, active life. You don't need a gym or fancy equipment. Just a bit of patience and a willingness to care for yourself. Think about how good it will feel to stand up with strength, reach for the sky with ease, and greet each new day with a sense of independence and possibility. I hope you'll share in the comments below. Which movement are you most excited to try? What difference do you hope to see? If this video inspired you, please leave a comment, like, and share it with a friend who could use a little encouragement. And don't forget to subscribe for more simple, supportive tips on healthy, joyful aging. Your journey doesn't end here. Let's keep moving forward, together.